The following video contains spoilers. We suggest watching the episodes alone in the dark. Alrighty Rooney, reboot's locked and ready to load. Excellent. You feel okay, House? No business mind corrupting your bod? Nope, seems the suit kitten was telling the truth. He really doesn't have much power beyond his usual devices. I'm shocked at how resilient he is for a few megabytes. Then Catalyst is on the level, for once. Do you have a lot of work ahead? A bit, since he does want a full form at least. This may take a while. Then looks like we'll pass the time with a review. You always get the hard jobs. Hey Wolfpack, we have some upgrading to achieve, but if you're here for the review, then we gotcha covered. Tonight our old pals at Crypt TV offer us a gaze into the terrified mindset of a child's fears of the unknown in their appropriately dubbed creature feature, Cover. So, our webisode opens up with a little girl sleeping.
Oh, jackpot!
But our kid wakes to the sound of strange noises in her home, only to see it's nothing. Just a monster. Yep, Crypt TV wastes zero time revealing this is a good old-fashioned monsters in children rooms nightmare. This creepy, glowy-eyed boogeyman is after this small girl, but she miraculously avoids it by hiding under the covers.
Oh, that's why they call it that.
For you see, the boogeyman actually can't get to her because the covers act as a shield, preventing the monster from harming its prey. And the majority of this short is a cat and mouse game of the two maneuvering around this, since the alien needs an opening while the child seeks help, because the monster can't simply use other methods.
Wait, he's under a blanket. Ah, he's safe.
If it isn't obvious, this Crypt script is clearly inspired by childhood fantasies fueled by a kid logic. The monster is simply this ominous boogeyman lurking in the dark, but it adheres to the rules of a child's mind that as long as they're under the safety of their blankets or protection wear, then the bad guys can't hurt them. A classic spin on the things that go bump in the night family tales, which many of us grew up with. Crypt TV wants to play around with the spirit of children's views on monsters, where their fears and simple takes on creatures of the dark are played up dead seriously. Naturally, this is a fun idea because the short not only puts a kid at risk, but makes the boogeyman utterly horrifying. You could say this is a short film which gives a sheet.
Puns are always funny.
Thanks, Beverly. The acting's fairly decent. Although the girl doesn't say a whole lot, nor even gets her name said, her total fear and desperate attempts to elude the boogeyman help carry this. She captures that primal dread of being all alone with a spooky ghoul in your room. Though it probably helps thanks to the monster itself practically being there, scarring her for life. It's a rather simple design, but I love the cover monster for how it doesn't hold back at its ferocious primal rage. We never actually learn anything about the cover creep since he's kept vague due to following a child's dread of unknown cryptids in the dark. However, since his glow-in-the-dark eyes and weird scales are his key traits, I think he might be an alien. He does look like a Mass Effect collector.
Assuming control.
It's truly solid work for such a short, straightforward horror short. I'm far more impressed watching this than that stupid Laundry Night streaker.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
But alas, we have a bed to mess. The girl attempts to escape, but uh-oh, she trips, leaving her feet exposed.
Tonight, you
Yep, little girl dies. The end. Let's hope Commander Shepard can save her before she's liquefied. Anywho, that's the end of Crypt TV's creature feature, Cover. And it's a simple mattress, but very well made. This is a very decent horror short, no doubt. It's not at all overly complex, since it's just tapping into that childhood fear of monsters hiding in our room, and relying on basic kid logic on how to avoid ghoulies. But granted that kick-ass R-rated horror movie budget to play it out as grim as possible. The suspense is very high thanks to a kid being so scared and vulnerable to a legit eerie boogeyman haunting her, which of course packs tons of terror. The monster's otherworldly design makes it all the more menacing, as it looks like something out of The Haunting of Hill House, or an M. Night flick. He's no soot or look-see, but definitely looks like something you don't want to have a close encounter with.
Your body is vulnerable.
Lastly, the gimmick of children being safe under the covers is very fun, since it taps into that primal fear we all have or had when scared and alone in a dark room. There's not too much to say other than it's a decent frightmare, which shows Crypt TV's ability to tackle all flavors of the horror genre greatly. It doesn't really do anything bad to lose points, but because it's super short, it also doesn't score too much either. I did kind of want more, especially since this idea was so amusing. But what we got is no bore. Covers a standard boogeyman fable, yet also reminds you why these spooky stories still hold up after all these generations. So, I grant this flick a gold skull. It's pretty good, but not perfect. Cover is merely a fun dark fantasy horror with simple concepts, but scares so terrifying, they'll send you hiding under the sheets. I'm your host, Catastrophe, and I can't wait for the sequel of Alien vs. Cover Girl. You wanted to know more about us? Well, here we go. We were all normal cats like you once, Mr. Trophy, including Pinky Die. Most of the council cats were all felines from across the stars, all with dreams and aspirations of our own, hopes and desires to be us. But that all changed when Nega Wolf was born. The Space Wolf was a being of vast power, who conquered himself many galaxies. A being of pure dark energy. Nega Wolf expanded his grand godhood by not only conquering planets, but by slaying other wolves. With each wolf dead by his paws, it empowered him even more. He grew strength until he was an almighty warrior, capable of anything. I know this part all too well. He was unstoppable until he crossed paths with our cool wolf, my brother, the savior of the stars, who defeated this monster once and for all. But that time's long gone. Wrong. His era came to an end, but his influence and legacy did not. While the Emperor was a mere mortal with higher XP, he required help maintaining his elite order, his feline servants. Though, aside from his right-hand man Mechanicat's obedience, the rest of us were far from genuine comrades. If you hate him so much, then why did you cats serve him? It wasn't by choice. Nega Wolf didn't just kill rival hounds, he also adopted cats back back as new recruits, or as pets. Nega-Wolf was so powerful, he amassed an empire, and of course, in order to keep a kingdom, you need good soldiers running the show. Nega-Wolf never had a cat sibling like the wolves slain, so I can only guess he took the felines his victims had as trophies, his own cat servants to obey his every whim, and reforged into the ultimate warriors to fight in the Nega Empire's glorious name. So you're not a council? You were all toy soldiers? Indeed. Our council were the earliest prototypes of mechanical cat troopers, scientists, strategists, or plain butlers who served the master. Our dearest Pinky Dye was one of these herself. Pinky was once an ordinary kitten like you. She had a sister wolf she once loved, but when the Nega Empire struck, it destroyed her innocence along with what was her homeworld. Our old master Nega-Wolf sent any surviving felines to our cat scientists for rebuilding. All of us had upgrades to live again, but better than ever. We had so many projects under Mechanicat that he eventually required a digital assistant. Me. Somebody who couldn't feel guilty over all the lives ruined, since as a mere machine, you didn't care. It started that way. Initially, I was a cold, calculating computer aide, but the longer my programming functioned, the more self-aware I grew, to the point of feeling emotions, even loving my fellow cats. I was tasked with helping out in Mechanicat's numerous, epic endeavors, mostly babysitting his future cybernetic cat generals. These kittens were very unstable, former cats from many differing dimensions rebuilt into brainwashed soldiers, Willis being programmed both physically and mentally to operate as warlords. Pinky Dye had always been a handful. She was so sweet, so innocent, yet dangerously unstable. I felt sorry for her the most because she was so broken, and rebuilding her didn't fix everything. I allowed her so close to my heart, but as you can tell, that proved a mistake. So, you cats weren't built to kill me? I thought Mechanicat sent you kits as a final payback from beyond the grave. We had no clue you even existed until you and your precious brother Wolf achieved the impossible. You killed Nega-Wolf and Mechanicat. I had no clue how to react to any of this, as we all thought this unfathomable. I united the cat soldiers under our council because we were in charge now. We had to step up now that we were cats without a leash. The council naturally desired your head. We did crave revenge on you, since emotions were high, and it did seem logical. But that's not what happened. You suddenly sought my friendship instead? Why? It was, to our shock, thanks to Pinky. Most of us were at odds until she cooked up the ultimate scheme to recruit you instead. She actually studied your channel, watched you, and made a compelling case how we needed you instead, to mix up our empire with a stronger ally rather than another hitless kill, as you did hold vast power if you, a regular cat, were able to slay our superior fighters. I remember this part. She wanted to use me. Pinky loved me for what I could do, and not who I was. Makes sense, now that we've compared notes. Pinky Dye has always been a disturbed individual. However, she revealed to me that she could comprehend far more than we gave credit for. What we saw of her on the surface was a sweet candy coating hiding a sour side. I thought at first the damage she sustained from her planet's invasion broke something in her brain, but yet, when we put her together, she wholeheartedly leaped at the chance to join us. Not only was she at ease enlisting, but she took pleasure in killing poor fools. It wasn't until I myself ended up at death's door that I realized she was using me. In fact, Pinky had been playing all of us for chumps. From the very start, it was her idea to pick you up. It was her defending you. It was her giving our council suggestions. It was her who shattered our council to pieces. It was her who purged her competition. It was her who ended up swiping the nega flame from under us. And it's her who seized power as Dark Mistress of the universe. Pinky Dye was never broken. Not fully. She was using deceptions to mislead us all. Pinky Dye joined this empire willingly, played cute, and once our guards were lowered, Cat stabbed us all. You mean it's not my fault she snapped? She planned this long before she even met me? Yes. She's been working behind the scenes this entire time. Once Mechanicat was put down, she never wanted us as friends. I can attest to that. She was playing with us until we were broken toys to throw out. All the faux kindness, the cute charms, friendly banter, and the love were false. We were never her friends. Don't you see, Cat? You didn't break Pinky. She was always broken. I didn't fail friendship. Friendship failed me! That bitch! She made me think I drove her nuts. I was good to her all along, and she still had the claws to blame me? Pinky Dye was evil long before you befriended her, my dear catastrophe. You had no influence over her beyond being her latest crush. We all tried aiding Dr. Pink and earn her loyalty, but she seemed to ignore our helping paws. Pinky's friends with others when it suits her, and never gave back anything. She sought thrills and power while only treating us as friends when we were of use in her game. So, there really is no romantic redemption finale to all this. I admire your idealism, Cat, but no. This is the same feline who ejected her own sister off into space at the drop of a hat. Even you can't save a mind so repulsive as that, with heartfelt MLP speeches. Dang, there goes an everyone lives dance party ending. Bye-bye to the PG finale, but there's hope for a dance party. Woot woot! The reboot's done. Perfect timing. Your intel better be accurate. If Negacat spots any weakness, then it won't be just us who get game over. Don't fret, Kitten. We've got you covered.